I just wanted to do a few videos before the virus takes me down or whatever. Yeah, so this is just a preliminary kind of thing, covering some subjects I'm going to touch on. Kind of like notes, I guess, for the future. I tend to stay away from the Sumerian Anunnaki scene. Yeah, it just makes me a bit sick to think about it. Yeah, there's some uncool stuff went down in ancient history, I'm pretty sure. And the relationships some of these ancients formed. This is some pretty famous Sumerian artwork, probably seen around the place, and I'll just talk a bit about it because it's got some themes, a lot of main themes, I guess, that I'd like to cover. And it's one of those ones, again, if you haven't noticed, I've got the divided kind of technique that even Da Vinci himself used, the Egyptians used. Just like, it's really basic, like you know, you do those puzzles when you're a kid, spot the difference, you know what I mean? And this is like pointing out differences. Yeah, everything's different. Some nuances between these sort of ancient people. Just like today, you know, there's two kinds basically on the earth. 2, 3 at the most. I mean, yeah, if you want to put people in categories, yeah, it's like basically 2 or 3. Forget the star signs. These personality types, there's too many variations now. Yeah, that's something that I kind of picked up from these ancients, showing me where to put my focus, what to focus on. Pass a few tips on to you if you're watching. Okay, so yeah, what did I say? 2 sides. Okay, so we're going to go with the right side, your right that you're looking at, as the baddies in this particular scene. So these guys with my little arrows on, baddies. These guys, we're going to look at them as the goodies. That was a pretty trippy show, the goodies. Anyway, not everyone's into English humour, I guess, but and in the middle we see here a possible man, or someone who's in the middle, kind of in the middle of these two parties' kind of differences. So we could relate that to emerging human race, us, because these people aren't human. Look at their eyes and stuff closely. I'm going to take a close look at them. I mean, this is pretty obvious to a lot of people that it was a different, you know, race altogether. Sumerian, I guess the second half of that word is like Aryan. They are a master race. I think, you know, the Germans were obsessed with this type of genetics. They went around the world, they were doing, you know, analysing people's facial structures, like lining up, you know, people in Asian countries, these kind of mystics. I don't know, probably went to Tibet and stuff, and trying to find these traits. But yeah, that's another story, I guess. So this just alludes to a bit of who they are. A ruling class. They were bigger than us, basically giants. A lot of ancient text shows how they were genetic engineers. They genetic engineered us. It tells that. There's a lot of artwork that shows them messing with the double helix. God, those power tools crank up at the right time, eh? They crank down too good. Yeah, okay, so might take a closer look at some comparisons. One thing I did want to point out is that no one's really taken into account and has certain cult, probably, I don't know, you can call it a cult, but no, it's just a higher science. It's something that's taken out of science in order to, keep science where it is. So we're going to look at these baddies and probably decode what's going on with them. Okay, so here we have, if you look at this character, you can see that it's got like a witch's hat. If you look closely, there's another face here popping out of the back of this guy's head. You can see that. Kind of big nose like him, like got the witch's kind of elongated features. And if you think that's just a kind of discrepancy, we go over to here. This guy, he has got, you probably can't see it, but pretty much two faces. He's split right down the middle. This guy's like maybe on a different angle, or he's got a different kind of double or entity attached to him, and this guy's totally split. Now I'm going to explore doubles, doppelgangers, relationships with other non-physical entities, merging with them, things like that. Now, so what does, okay, apart from the details I pointed out, like some things that I wanted to point out, we go over here to the goodies. No split, no double being. We see this. You can see their mean faces. I mean, they're mean bastards. You got over here, you got this happy-faced, angelic entity. I don't know if that's representing something in spirit or actually physical. Could be physical, because they did depict themselves with wings. To me, that's like a, I don't think they had wings, but like a showing something that's unseen, something that belongs to even like their history or associations. You see this one, it's like depicting wings of sorts, but they're water wings. So we can associate this dude with water. Maybe someone who's gone through the flood, some antediluvian kind of trip. Yeah. So there is like a water connection with this guy, but I wouldn't put it in the class of holy water. And when you think about air and water, flyers, I mean, fish are basically, you know, just flying around in a different medium. So we're talking about different mediums here, different modes, terrestrial beings, aquatic beings, aerial beings. So he's a flyer, but he's in a different medium, if you know what I'm saying. I think if you know, I've discussed the flyers, what they're associated with, in another video, one of my last two, I think. If you read Carlos Castaneda, you might know what a flyer is and what that's associated with, and what kind of ancients or modern sorcerers associate with them. I guess modern sorcery or witchcraft in a lot of ways is like these guys were what they were, and we're trying to, like, in a way mimic them or regain some things that are lost, and trying to get whole again, try and be not so compartmentalized. I think that's the modern ideal way, while the less modern seem to be split. If you look at the black eye, the archon worm kind of videos, there's other ones, like I haven't done the only one on the internet, like there's other ones, other people that have ideas too. Yeah, so total right brain shut down with the modern day split. They pretty much let that other entity take control, which assists with their timing and their own synchronicity and their plan. Okay, so we got the bad guys and we got the good guys, and then in the middle we have someone hiding down here in this ditch, whatever it is. And as we can see, you know, the good guy's kind of like got his hand towards this lower, lesser being who has no double like these guys. So they're not like this guy. It's more like us. He's not like this guy. He's not like this guy. He's like a bit more normal. But he's on the run from these guys in some fashion, and he's even forced to defend himself. He's not facing them, he's turning from them, but he's got the knife facing them. So he's defending himself against these freaks. Okay. And yeah. So there's an alliance here, like something's on our side, like we have the support, you know. Well, these guys don't. And we can see here there's a animal with a horn that's stabbing this guy's heel or foot. Like I could say that, you know, if you read the Bible, it tells like how the earth helps people flee. Sometimes, you know, things will happen. I guess that comes down to the cosmic consciousness, and you know what I mean, like this guy's after this other guy, and then some animal steps out and takes him down. Oh, accidents happen, bro. Oh, what a shame. Karma got you there. Anyway, like, everything's conscious. It doesn't, like, your own actions aren't always equal to what you're thinking and what you're reasoning. Acting without believing is one of those techniques to kind of open up the possibilities of mind. Not putting, you do, you be, not associating your own meanings with what's happening, what's actually happening. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. I covered these few of these subjects. Mainly, I want to cover the double. Horus has also been referred to as a double being. I'll probably look more, or delve more into the double nature of Horus, how that relates to the Eye of Horus. Probably have done a little bit about it already, keep mentioning it. But yeah, I thought I should get into a bit of the Sumerian stuff. Everyone else seems to be just going on with it, and I'm trying to avoid it. Yeah, so I think that'll do for now.